Welcome back, you beautiful sons of bitches, to the War Room. This is where we break down past games. I was limiting it before to just games that I lost, but we're going to do games that I won and lost, because I think you can always learn something from looking back at what happened. So we got Ben playing as Zeus on the left-hand side in blue, and we got myself in the red playing as Loki, and we're going to be continuing with applying Boyd's new strategy that he posted on his Patreon. You gotta donate $5 to check out the video where he shares it. But basically, you hit a timing once you hit age 3, a flaming weapons timing, while also converting all of your dwarves into berserkers, whatever the plural fucking word for that is. You can also do it with your villagers. Does it show you how much it costs? No, it doesn't. It's like 15. It's like 10 or 15 for a villager to convert, but the dwarves are only 5 food, and whatever the other resource cost is. So it's a little bit more expensive to do it with the villagers, but the dwarves are really cheap. So you're going to want to be making a lot of dwarves. You're incentivized to be making a lot of dwarves, so that you have a very cheap conversion. Now, normally, this is a build for a regular standard land map. However, that's not the case. We're playing Anatolia. This is actually a rematch between me and this guy. I completely fucked up my build order before. I did so many things wrong just because I hadn't practiced at all today. It was my first game on, and I just butchered everything. Got totally annihilated by this guy. Thankfully, we got rematched, and I'm kind of adapting the strategy to go for water. So I'm going to be putting up a dock first and kind of putting more villagers onto wood to support more ship growth. So here's a spy going down on the Allspark. We have Ben scouting out with his... Oh, we're crossing paths here. Look at us. Look at us, side by side. Never would have known. With this Kataskopos. He did not see when my dock came down, which is good. Always want to hide information from the enemy. And I'm just going to be scouting out more. Now, one thing I learned just looking at the map after the game ended is it's very important to keep this little guy, this Allspark, excuse me, this Berserk, at home to build like houses and shit, and to put different buildings up while you're in battle. That's something that I'm going to do in the future. It's just so nice being able to control group straight to him and make some stuff happen. So Ben's going to be aging up a lot faster than I am. About half as fast. Here we go, me queuing up. Now, I don't know if this is because I'm putting docks down. Let's see if he has any docks himself. Not yet, so that's probably why. That's allowing him to maybe age up faster. I'm not sure. I was intimidated me a little bit once I saw he was like half as fast, but I'm like, okay, I'm already aging, so I'm not too far behind. So I think it's okay. I think my economy is going to be perhaps a little bit better. I don't know. Maybe it's even right now. Can't tell. But I'm hoping with the dock, it's going to be a little bit better. Continuing to make ships. Probably better to make the dock here. That might have been a mistake, but what are you going to do? There's the age up through Athena. Now, he does a good job in this match, if I remember, of walling everything off. Really like how he did that. Going to be coming over here, I think, to throw another dock down, perhaps? I might be wrong. No. I'm scouting for his dock. That's what I'm doing. Seeing if he has one down himself. Making a couple Herser. Shifting over to making dwarves. Getting the eyes of the forest. Eyes in the forest, excuse me. Which gives trees and animals temporary vision when one of your units is nearby them. I love this technology. It's super fucking cheap. And it gives you a lot of extra information. I'm a big fan of it. We see him Now starting to wall off. Very nice. His units kicked my ass in the last game, which you guys haven't seen, obviously. So I don't know if he got armory upgrades that game and this game, but it just feels like Greek units are really, really beefy. Here we go. This was a mistake on his part, just losing a scout like that. Should have definitely tried to save that. So I see he doesn't have a dock here. However, I'm going to notice he has a dock here. So I'm going to send the Allspark back home, continuing to get more and more villagers. We have Ben just continuing to get wood. Some gold, some food, mainly just wood. Putting another dock down. I never actually use it because of poor macro. But I'm getting ships here, which is good. So, I am gathering. And now I'm starting to build, I thought that was a ballista ship. There we go. Some longboats now to start engaging with his ships. He is beginning to also get out some ships for himself. And some hoplites. There we go. Actually, let me see real quick. He does not have any upgrades just yet. I'm going to be building up some raiding cavalry to try to get some raids in. This is going to be pretty ineffective, though. Because he walls off this portion, and this is the side I go into. I should have, since I have spy down, I should have just kind of looked real quick to check where I could have raided. If we look at my vision here, I could see this is all walled off. I should have maybe thought about trying to come around to this side, because he doesn't really have anything off. Like, yeah, he's starting to wall up. But obviously this side's shut down, so that was just poor target focus on my part. Okay, getting one more raiding cavalry, 5. Seems like a nice big odd number. Sending them out to try to keep the enemy distracted. This is kind of like a booming strat. Kind of like a one base booming strategy where you're trying to go not really fast heroic because you want as many dwarves as possible to convert. So ideally you're trying to get up to a full population and then convert with a lot of dwarves, so you have this extra jump in military population with a full pop army and flaming weapons. That's the idea of it. But as you can see, I'm kind of speeding through that. So I'm putting an armory down so I can get to the next age, and putting down a market so I can sell off wood to buy food, since I'm already doing pretty good on gold. So you're going to see this. I'm going to sell one more wave of wood off. There we go. Now we see me going through Bragi. Getting ready to raid on this side. Should be making ships here, but I'm not. That's okay. Starting to, at some point, send my ships down here. Picking up the Hall of Thanes technology to make my Hursars and infantry speed up. Hero speed, infantry speed. Continuing to get more units. We see, oops, Ben is now doing a great job getting towers, but towers can't shoot directly below them, so I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot. You don't have burning oil. Let me just stay here for a little bit. I could have maybe, yeah, I could have maybe, nah, I couldn't have sniped it. Not at all. I didn't realize I could run in here. I should have maybe checked for that as well. It wasn't a full wall. I'm going to do that in the future. Be reminded of that in the future. I get away, and while he's chasing that, I decide, you know what? Let me come down here with the rest of my army to take out his dock. And I see he's getting gold from this area, so I'm like, oh, okay, let's get that too. I get copper shields to help out with any tower fire. I get the dwarven breastplate to help with the Allsparks, or the berserks. Fuck, I gotta keep remembering what the hell these guys are called. So I converted them, all the dwarves into berserks. Got the battle boar coming in. Got the kraken. Got my ships. They're gonna take the dock out. I'm gonna take the rest of my army and bring them up here. Just miss all this. Get everything together first, and then okay, he snipes the battle boar. Doesn't matter. Now we're gonna proc flaming weapons. bring all our forces together. The raiding cavalry are idle, sadly, but that's all right. So look at this. I'm just going to melt through his army. Just melt right through it. Get a myth unit spawn. Another troll. Epic. Love that. Melted through his army. Now going to be sniping his building. Continuing to make raiding cavalry, purser. Some more ships here. And putting down some other military buildings to get throwing axemen and purser into the mix. And there we go. We got the win. So the big lessons here is get the ships out onto the fishing spots. That could have been extra food income that I did not have. I was also floating some food and wood. I guess I could have been getting more armory upgrades. The hack armor, you know, the damage, regular armor. I had the piercing armor, which was good, but I should have got the other military upgrades. He didn't use his restoration, which was interesting. I don't know if he thought like, okay, I didn't really have enough there. Interesting why he didn't choose to do that. I could have also raided on the opposite side. Like, yeah, he did a fucking amazing job walling this side off. I wonder if that's because he knew I spied early on in this area. But I could have came around here and just relentlessly attacked. Like, big weakness here. Big weakness here. I could have really put some pressure on him. Raiding cavalry are resistant to piercing. If we look at them, do we have any here? Are they still up here? Over here. Where's the piercing? Where's the piercing? Pierce armor, 42%, as opposed to, if you look at a berserk, 19%. 19% versus 42%. And that's with copper shields, keep in mind, which makes it minus 10% vulnerability. So maybe it's 30% usually compared to 10%. Massive. So if you get the copper shields, they make excellent raiding units because they can tank watchtower fire, settlements. So that's something I can do as well. I can think about maybe getting another town center, perhaps. I don't know. Maybe get some. If I'm doing it this early and not waiting later on for a big fight, then I think getting some battle boar would be a good decision here. It's mainly gold with some favor. So maybe transferring all my wood villagers onto gold and then training a bunch of dwarves and villagers and then transferring the dwarves to the gold mine. That's to do this earlier on. And if you're not copying Boyd's strategy like to the letter, where you're doing it more at full pop, I gotta watch the video again just to really hammer in those concepts. But yeah, I think it's such a powerful strategy. Like, you just get this massive influx of extra soldiers. I got 6 left here. And you have flaming weapons. You can just melt through a position, melt through an army so fast. I think he should have just backed up and continued to snowball his army and not taken this fight when I procced flaming weapons, just gave up this whole position here. That would have probably been a smarter move on his part. Slam down another dock on this side to get some food income. Maybe pop restoration there since you're taking the fight. Save it for later. You definitely lost this position. You got the myth unit spawn. That kind of makes that impossible. But yeah, good lessons. Raid next time. Number 1. Number 2, get all the ships out. And number 3, supplement the wood onto gold to start getting that dwarf income up while making dwarves and villagers at the same time to help repair the economy so that you can transition to the mythic age ideally to help really seal the deal, because that's going to be guaranteed spawns on all their town centers. So if you need help finishing off their economy and really tilting the scales, then tier like really cements that into place. So hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned a lot about how to play Loki and maybe how to defend as Zeus against Loki. If you had some ideas, if you're a Zeus main or a Greek main, on the best way to defend against this, I'd love for you to comment it below your strategy to counter this. But I'm having a lot of fun practicing this and refining this very, very effective way to kind of do an all-in sorta. I guess another way of boosting this, maybe I can try this in my next game, is taking all of my villagers. So that's 5 there, 12. I don't think that guy counts. It was a 13. So 12, and converting these guys as well. It's going to be more expensive, more food, and whatever the second cost is. I forget if it's gold or wood. But maybe experimenting with converting all these guys as well into berserks. Maybe I'll try that next time to really get an even larger army. But yes, thank you for watching. Hope it was educational. Hope it was entertaining. Please drop a like, sub to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. And big shout out before we close out to all of my patrons supporting the channel, supporting me making videos. Thank you guys so much. If you'd like to become a patron, tap the link in the description below. Head to my Patreon page, pick a tier that works best for you, and support the channel.